You want to make a comic and you're very excited when it comes to the art. But when it comes to actually putting the story together, you realize you've never written anything before. You have so much passion for your project, but the idea of writing it makes you feel very overwhelmed. Luckily for you, I'm a nerd, and I found my love for writing before I found my love for art. So I'm going to give you 6 beginner writing tips to get you started. Hello, my name is Adam, my pronouns are he, they, and a while back, as in almost 2 years ago, I asked if y'all wanted writing tips. Most of my followers are beautiful, wonderful artists, but are scared to jump into the writing world. Full disclosure, I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I have been studying writing craft since I was like 8, and I'm currently 28, so now that I'm old and crusty, I finally learned things over the years. These tips will be geared towards webcomics, but they're general enough that you could apply them to pretty much anything. I'm sure that you guys have seen plenty of videos from comic creators already, so we're gonna skip over the more common tips like start small, make an outline, write a script, etc. And we're gonna focus on writing tips that are very basic but are not talked about as much by artists. The first one, and arguably the most important one, is finding your story's theme. You might be saying, the theme of my story is family, or revenge, or acceptance. But when most writers are talking about theme, we are talking about a statement that you, yes you, personally believe to be true, the message of your story. The more specific, the better. Instead of just revenge, your theme could be, pursuing revenge isn't worth it because you'll never be satisfied. This one sentence, this theme, will be your lighthouse as you write. Everything that happens in your story will be anchored to this theme. So whenever you get stuck, you can ask yourself, what is the best way to illustrate this theme? What circumstances do I need to create to show the audience that I believe pursuing revenge isn't worth it because you'll never be satisfied? And the rest will follow suit. The next tip, which is one of my favorite things to put in my writing, is to incorporate subtext. Shout out to Subtext for real. Gotta be one of my favorite literary devices. In simple terms, subtext is anything that is not explicitly said, but things that you can feel because they're implied. When a character walks into a room and says, I'm so pissed off, I've never been more furious in my life, I'm so angry, that's not subtext because they're explicitly saying it out loud. But when a character throws open their bedroom door, slams it shut, stomps over to their bed and starts punching their pillow, we know they're angry, even though they didn't say that out loud. That is subtext. Every time your characters are passive-aggressive or lie or play mind games or put on a brave face, all these things are interesting contradictions to what they're actually thinking and feeling. If every single one of your characters are super emotionally mature and are great communicators and they always say exactly what they mean, not only is that unrealistic, but it removes a lot of that juicy tension that comes with internal conflict. This ties directly into the famous show don't tell rule. You don't have to explicitly tell us what your characters are thinking and feeling. You can just show us through action and dialogue and through another narrative technique, which just so happens to be my next tip. Utilize visual storytelling. This is so important when it comes to comics and animation specifically. Visual storytelling is a form of subtext where you convey information to your audience without words, but through your artwork itself. A very popular example of this that I think most of you will recognize is in Chapter 1 of Deltarune. The game begins and we see Asriel in Chris's bedroom. Asriel's side of the bedroom is colorful and bright. His shelf holds multiple trophies. The walls are adorned with star decals. Meanwhile, Chris's side of the bedroom is very desaturated. Their furniture is bland and they seemingly have very few belongings of their own. None of the characters comment on it, and to my recollection, there's no flavor text acknowledging this difference either. It's just left there for you as the player to take in and think about what that means for these siblings. My short comic here on YouTube called Motion Sickness got a handful of comments saying that y'all liked my visual storytelling, which made me feel very happy, I must admit. And in my upcoming Breath of the Wild fan comic, A Silent Night, there are entire sequences with no dialogue or narration, just visual storytelling. Too much narration in a comic is oftentimes going to be skipped by your readers because they're trying to get to the good stuff, the dialogue and the art. Remember, you're not just using words to tell the story, you're also using pictures. So let your art tell the story too. Tip number 4, and probably my spiciest tip, make your characters likable. Not perfect, not even necessarily a good person, but likable. Whether your character is a sweet baby angel face or the scum of the earth, your audience has to enjoy reading about them. Every character needs to earn their spot in your story. This is one of the things that I see webcomic creators struggle with the most. I can't tell you how many webtoon comment sections I've been in where a majority of readers don't like, I'm talking any of the characters, any of them. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. I want everybody to love your OCs. Most of us know that you want your characters to have flaws and strengths, but many creators struggle to strike that balance. Let's say that your main character is your typical kind of hero. Not even an anti-hero, but a good person that is easy to root for. If you create scenarios where they are always in the right, they never make any mistakes, and anyone that doesn't like them is automatically portrayed as evil, your audience isn't gonna resonate with that character as much. Let your main character and all of your characters fuck up. Let them be pathetically bad at something. Let them say something that hurts someone else's feelings. And let your antagonists make a good point sometimes. This complexity makes your characters interesting to read about and far more relatable than people that are always good or always bad. On the flip side, there's one thing I want you to take away from this tip. Now, this might seem contradictory, but it must be said. I promise you, a tragic backstory is not gonna make your audience like an irredeemable asshole. It's just not, especially if that backstory is very late into the plot. Yes, even awful characters should have intriguing things about them, but backstory is meant to add context, not serve as a band-aid to make your readers fall for a character that does horrible things, like commit SA or pummeling children until they're not alive anymore. YouTube, please don't censor me. This is particularly rampant among webcomics, especially on Webtoon, which is why I have to point it out. You can give your villain that tragic backstory, but please, please, do not frame it as an excuse that forgives all of their crimes. TLDR, we love morally gray characters in this house, but your readers are still human beings. Consider how your audience would realistically react to something, because the last thing you want to do is piss them off so bad that they stop reading. Another helpful tip for writing characters specifically is to map out every character's arc. And when I say every character, I really do mean every recurring character in your story. You might be familiar with the famous quote, "Every character should want something even if it is only a glass of water." That's what we're talking about. You don't want your supporting characters to just sit around doing a whole lot of nothing. Figure out every person's arc from start to finish as if they were the main character themselves. That way, when you're writing scenes, you're not gonna wonder what to do with your side characters, because they got their own goals, baby! They got their own journey! Okay, this last tip is the most annoying one to hear. It is. But it's one that a lot of beginner writers never do. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, okay? You gotta actually write shit down. A lot of us have our stories living in our brains forever because we're too scared to put it to page. I still struggle with this myself. Listen, I don't care if it's in Google Docs or Microsoft Word or Scrivener or Milanote or a notebook or on sticky notes on your wall. I don't care. Write it down. At the time that I'm recording this video, I use a free app called Xmind to outline, my phone's notes app for random ideas, and Google Docs for my scripts. Side note, I know that Google Docs uses AI scraping, but at this point, the AI is so pervasive that I'm frankly too exhausted to do anything about it. So, fuck it, we ball. Remember, it doesn't have to be pretty, you can fix it later. Just have a place, or ideally multiple places, for you to word vomit your ideas. So those are the tips that I have for you today. I hope that they were genuinely helpful and that you go out there and make your comic, or animated cartoon, or movie, or whatever your heart desires. The world is your oyster. Let me know if you have any other writing questions, or if you'd like me to make more content like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!